These wretched babies don't come until they are ready.
This new power, which has proved itself to be such a terrifying weapon of destruction, is harnessed for the first time for the common good of our community. To the suggestion that Great Britain might someday want a republic will go quietly. I hope people will think very carefully about the future. Families, friends and communities often find a source of courage rising up from within. Indeed, sadly, it seems that it is tragedy that often draws out the most and the best from the human spirit. 1992 is not a year I shall look back on with undiluted pleasure. In the words of one of my more sympathetic correspondents, it has turned out to be an annus horribilis. Think what we would have missed if we had never used a mobile phone or surfed the net or, to be honest, listened to other people talking about surfing the net. Before each of numerous portrait sittings, now then, with teeth or without? For me, heaven is likely to be a bit of a come down. On the 1982 intruder into her bedroom, I realized immediately that it wasn't a servant because they don't slam doors. Football's a difficult business, and aren't they prima donnas? But it's a wonderful game. To a woman whose cell phone rang during a formal meeting, you'd better answer that. It could be someone important. What were once only hopes for the future have now come to pass. I believe that there is a great fear in our generation of being labeled as priggish. It has perhaps always been the case that the waging of peace is the hardest form of leadership of all. True patriotism doesn't exclude an understanding of the patriotism of others. They are not royal. They just happen to have me as their aunt. It's all to do with the training. You can do a lot if you're properly trained. Cowards falter, but danger is often overcome by those who nobly dare. Work is the rent you pay for the room you occupy on earth. It has turned out to be an annus horribilis. We all need to get the balance right between action and reflection. With so many distractions, it is easy to forget to pause and take stock. It has been women who have breathed gentleness and care into the hard progress of humankind. Family does not necessarily mean blood relatives, but often a description of a community, organization, or nation. Good memories are our second chance at happiness. When life seems hard, the courageous do not lie down and accept defeat. Instead, they are all the more determined to struggle for a better future. Let us not take ourselves too seriously. None of us has a monopoly on wisdom. I have been aware all the time that my peoples, spread far and wide throughout every continent and ocean in the world, were united to support me in the task to which I have now been dedicated with such solemnity. No one who knew Diana will ever forget her. Millions of others who never met her but felt they knew her, will remember her. In remembering the appalling suffering of war on both sides, we recognize how precious is the peace we have built in Europe since 1945. Like all best families, we have our share of eccentricities, of impetuous and wayward youngsters, and of family disagreements. We lost the American colonies because we lacked the statesmanship to know the right time and the manner of yielding what is impossible to keep. It is easy enough to define what the Commonwealth is not. Indeed, this is quite a popular pastime. Madam President, speaking here in Dublin Castle, it is impossible to ignore the weight of history, as it was yesterday when you and I laid wreaths at the Garden of Remembrance. The British Constitution has always been puzzling and always will be. I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.